Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Hello and greetings from Kyiv, Ukraine. This is my super cup. I hope that you're doing fantastic, and as always, it's a great pleasure to see you tonight. It's 10 p.m. in Ukraine. I decided that it's the best time to have streams because it's not really late in Europe and not too early in the US. I hope it's like a perfect time. On the other hand, my friends like Rick the Ukrainian and others, they also have streams approximately like 8, 9, 10 p.m. basically at this time. Yeah, but because, because we need to have turns or something. I don't know. Maybe I gotta bribe somebody or neutralize somebody. Anyways, so today we will talk about why the Ukrainian victory is important, and even more important than Ukrainian victory, why it's important to make sure the Russian terrorism loses. And today's the security of today's stream is provided by operator Conchita, right? Guys, you don't understand how much Russians fear operator Conchita. They fear Conchita because when Conchita won the Eurovision, right? Like the problems disappeared in Russia. They were talking about it for like a year, and that's why I decided to make Conchita, operator Conchita, a symbol of today's stream, dedicated to the Russian collapse, demise, loss. Anyways, thank you, Conchita. So, this is the idea of today's stream. Why it's important to make sure Russians lose this war. And first of all, let me remind you the reasons why the free democratic world is supporting Ukraine nowadays. And I'm talking about an alliance that is bigger than the one which fought against Hitler during the World War II. There's much more countries supporting Ukraine than there were countries fighting against Hitler. And there are many reasons why the Russian invasion of Ukraine must be stopped. I'm sure that you know pretty much all of them. And of course, also there's a bunch of stupid fucks out there who obviously ditched school and specifically like history lessons, and they go, why should we support Ukraine? Why should we care? Like, we have plenty of our own problems. Why should we care about some country like in the Eastern Europe and whatever? And the answer is, Google the Budapest Memoranda, you dumbass. Just Google it, and everything is there. And if you're too lazy, I will just briefly remind you about it. It's like when Ukraine had the world's second largest nuclear arsenal of, like ICBMs, tactical nukes, and everything else. And those nukes were aimed at every single state of the US. And they were ready to go. And we said, like, guys, we've got all that shit from like Soviet Union, okay, but we in reality we don't want to kill. Yeah, we just want to be friends. How do we solve this? And then the US, the UK, and Russia, they agreed to guarantee the safety of Ukraine if Ukraine gave up its nukes. And later, as you know, Russia violated this agreement. They attacked, even though our nukes were never aimed at Russia. It's just a small reminder why it is like this nowadays, why people support Ukraine. Because, again, actually, if you think about it, Ukraine never wanted to destroy the US. Russia always did, and they still do. more than ever. So first of all, the Russian invasion is a brutal violation of international law. You probably all understand this. The chapter of the United Nations explicitly prohibits the use of force against other states. And Russia's invasion is a clear violation of this principle. There were no Ukrainians attacking Russians. There were no Ukrainian terrorists in Russian subways. There was nothing like that, because we don't do that shit. There were Russian tanks crossing the Ukrainian border and opening fire on Ukrainian civilians, on Ukrainian civilian cars in Bucha. This is how it started. Places like Luhansk, Donetsk, annexation of Crimea, even though Russians always claimed that there were no Russian troops, and after that Putin awarded Russian personnel for taking Crimea. Second reason is the invasion is a threat to the law-based international order. Ricky, don't take a nap, please. I'm sure that you all expect the Russian cringe. Okay, I prepared a lot of Russian cringe for you guys for this Friday. You will be impressed as always. But today we have to discuss rather serious topic. Okay. So law-based international order. After the World War II, the new order was built on the principle that all states of the world are equal, and that no state should be able to use its power to take territory from another state, right? And Russia's invasion of Ukraine is a challenge to this principle. And it can have destabilizing effects on the entire global order. And people, for example, people will start questioning this order. And this is the threat not only for the international security, but also to democracy itself. And of course, from Ukrainian perspective, the invasion of Ukraine is a big humanitarian catastrophe inflicted by Russians. Millions of Ukrainians have been displaced. We all know that they were displaced from their homes, and thousands were killed. Many more Ukrainians were killed in just less than 2 years of the Russian invasion than during 8 years of war in Donbass. It's when Russians brought a lot of hybrid troops there, hiding patches, their regular troops hiding patches and flags, sometimes not even hiding flags, and they pretended they were like local Donbass people, you know, especially those like from Buryatia, Yakutia, and Asian part of Russia. They completely looked like local Donbass people. And the problem is the fighting has also caused severe damage not only to the Ukrainian infrastructure but also to our ecology, right? Kakhovka Dam, Zaporizhzhia power plant. I hope you understand my point. And also we lost a lot of hospitals, schools, residential buildings, homes. Fourth reason, the invasion is a threat to global peace and security. And if Russia is allowed to get away with this aggression in Ukraine, it will only encourage Russia to continue its aggression in the future. And I'd like to remind you that Russia stated multiple times that they won't stop in Ukraine. Regardless of the outcome of this invasion, they will not stop in Ukraine. The terrorist federation, we have to understand this. Terrorist federation is an empire. It's probably one of the last empires on earth. And it cannot exist other than through invasion and occupation of foreign territories. Now to all the pro-Russian destitutes who are watching this. Okay, and they go. But the US is the same, right? US also expansionist, because whenever you talk about Russian atrocities and undeniable Russian war crimes, they always go, but the US. Can you name at least 3 territories that were annexed by the US in the past 30 years? Okay, how about Abkhazia, Chechnya, South Ossetia, Crimea, Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, Kherson? Guys, that's in the Russian legislation. Those are officially considered a Russian land. They are officially connected to Russia. Even despite all those chapters of the UN, they don't give a single fuck about it. They just came there, took the land, and connected those lands to the terrorist federation. As easy as that. And also, if Russia is allowed to act like a bully with nuclear missiles, it gives a perfect example to other bullies. Okay, bullies like Syria, North Korea, for example, and all other countries so much admired by pro-Russian degenerates all around the world. Another reason that I wanted to mention is, of course, Ukraine is one of the key players in the global food chain, global food supply chain of the world. And I don't really think that I should explain more about it, because Ukraine has probably the most fertile soil. It's known for its soil, right? Not sure if like in Eastern Europe, maybe in the whole Europe, I don't know. I remember like there were multiple stories about Hitler in the times of the World War II, literally loading the trains with like Ukrainian soil and bringing it to Germany. It happened for real. And also Ukraine has quite a few large gas sources, right? Oil, uranium, precious metals, etc. But the most important thing is Ukraine brings food to countries that require food, like African countries, for example. And from the international perspective, it's also very important to understand that we are not fighting for our countries, right? Here in Ukraine, we realize that we're not fighting only for Ukraine. We understand that no European country can fight alone against Russia, and that's why we fight. And Russian threat to the collective security is insane. It's known fact that Russia has long history of supporting terrorism. Because, for example, the Soviet Union provided financial, and not only financial, also military support to terrorist groups around the world. And Russia continued this practice in the years since the collapse of the Soviet Union. For example, Russia has supported the Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad. Today, France issued a warrant for his arrest, I believe, right? Because Bashar al-Assad used chemical weapons against its own people, and it's a war crime. Russia also supported, as you probably know, separatist movements in eastern Ukraine, which have been accused of carrying out terrorist attacks multiple times around Ukraine. And last year, the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe adopted a resolution declaring Russia a terrorist regime. You probably all remember that. It was in October, I believe, 14th of October 2022. Putin is wanted by the International Crime Court for kidnapping Ukrainian children. And Russia is an officially terrorist regime. Like, you cannot undo those two things. Another problem is that Russia has the capability to carry out terrorist attacks on the European soil. Russia has large and well-trained military. Yeah, they do sometimes. And it also has a network of intelligence agents and operatives operating in Europe. We knew that Russians have approximately 400 spies, and Ukrainian security service shared this information with other intelligence agencies, with their colleagues in Europe and the U.S. Russia had 400 spies operating on the West. 400 spies. And that's besides the legalized spies, right? Like the ambassadors and diplomats and yada yada. So all those spies, all those agents and operators, they give Russia the ability to carry out attacks against European targets, such as government buildings, such as transportation hubs, soft targets such as shopping malls, cafeterias. And you probably noticed that every single time Putin fucks up in Ukraine, it's always followed by a terrorist attack in Europe. Like Charlie Hebdo, for example. All those numerous bombings and shootings around Europe that happened every single time there were Putin held Minsk negotiations before the big invasion, right? Or when the Russians shot down the Malaysian Boeing over the Donbass. Does it really look like a coincidence to you? Just think about it. Also, Russia is willing to use terrorism as a tool to achieve its political objectives. For example, poisoning of Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia in the UK 2018. You all remember those two idiots in Salisbury. Those stupid fucks. Assassination of Litvinenko. Again, it was a poisoning. And by the way, Litvinenko, according to the information from the open sources, before he got poisoned and killed, he was about to publish information regarding allegedly Putin's, specific tastes, specific sexual tastes, okay, that involved underage folks. So that's why he was killed, basically. Russia has also been accused of using cyber attacks to disrupt elections and sow discord in Western countries. And in addition to the above, here are some reasons why the Russian terrorism is dangerous to the collective security, okay? Because it was like the international perspective, but there's also collective security of Europe, of the NATO countries, and of course the USA. Russia has the world's largest nuclear weapon arsenal, I believe. And it has shown not only willingness, but also readiness to use it. They produce plenty of threats, like every single day, on Solovyov's show, and many other Russian TV shows. For example, in 2022, Russia threatened to use nuclear weapons if Finland and Sweden joined NATO. You probably remember that. Russia is a unfortunately, leading cyber warfare power. And it had used its cyber capabilities to attack crucial infrastructure in the US and Europe. For example, 2017, Russia was responsible for the NotPetya cyber attack. People who know what I'm talking about, they probably remember this name, NotPetya. This cyber attack caused billions of dollars of damage, not only to governments, but also to businesses all around the world. And it was proved that Russians were behind this. Russia is also a leading producer of disinformation. And we talked about it many, many times. Basically, it created the propaganda itself. And Russia is using the disinformation campaign to sow discord, to undermine democracy on the West. And we talked about it I believe, in some of my previous streams. And for example, Russia has been accused numerous times of interfering in the 2016 U.S. presidential elections, right, of 2016, by spreading false information online. It included their cyber warfare and their disinformation. The Russian terrorism is a complex challenge, and unfortunately there is no easy solution because yeah, they have nukes, they have faulty nukes, Bev Groves, but yeah, but they also probably have some nukes that work because they have a lot of them. Wait a second, there was a great comment. There was a great comment that I lost, unfortunately. Oh, Mirko here, yeah. Yeah, my friend Mirko asked me to talk about Yanachari. I will talk about it a bit later. And as I mentioned, the Russian terrorist threat is a very big and complex challenge, which has absolutely no easy solution. But international community must take strong actions to counter this threat if we want to have peaceful tomorrow, right? And the last thing that is, again, very, very important. It's important for us and you. If Ukraine is swallowed by the Russian terrorists, right? If Ukrainian identity is removed, people are brainwashed, and things like that, Ukraine will not disappear. No, Ukrainians will not disappear. They will become more Russian, so to say, but they will be brainwashed generations of Ukrainians. And you probably know that Ukrainians were the core of the Soviet army, because Ukrainians are not like Russians. We are brave, we are strong, we are professional, and that's why the Soviet army was feared so much by the world. And Ukrainians participated in Vietnam War, Ukrainian special forces in the frames of the Soviet army, right? I know people who did that. Ukrainians were involved into all kinds of operations, including like Cuban crisis and things like that, guys. So nowadays, this core of the Soviet army, past Soviet army, is your biggest ally. And currently NATO is blessed to have Ukrainians as their allies. If they lose this ally, not because they stop being your allies, not because like if they get conquered, okay, if they get captured, brainwashed, then in just 20 years, you will face an incredibly strong Russian army that will be as strong as the Soviet army back in the days, but even stronger, because the core of this army will be trained of using NATO equipment, NATO weaponry, NATO tactics, NATO doctrine. And in just 20 years, you will see your kids unfortunately, fighting against them. It's like this is the most horrible option that I see, right? Horrible variant to me personally, because I don't want that. But if Ukraine is captured by Russians, this is exactly what happens. That's why neither us nor you want this to happen. Russians will be able to make us fight, like they make our nations, our countries fight, not only inside Europe but inside our own societies within our countries. And to summarize, okay, to summarize my tonight's stream, this here is the National Library in Kherson, Biblioteca Olesa Gonchara, Library of Olesa Gonchar. It was destroyed by a Russian strike several days ago. Guys, it's one of the most famous libraries in Ukraine. It's like one of the biggest ones, and of course it's one of the most famous. It's a library, guys. Just forget about Dostoevsky, forget about Tchaikovsky, because they are not part of the Russian culture anymore. Their culture nowadays is called Russism or Russian supremacism. And it's also known as chaos of shit and death, as some wise anonymous on the internet said. Russians are massively popularizing this shit on the West. If you don't trust me, just remember the advertisement for the Wagner Group, for the terrorist Wagner Group, in the American social media. They wish young Europeans and Americans to grow cynical and atrocious just like them. They want this to spread. Now ask yourself, if the Russism only brings atrocities, as well as shit and death, maybe we should all stay away from it, and maybe we should save other nations from becoming brainwashed zombies. If whatever Kremlin produces and calls culture, right, or the Russian world, and if in reality it only brings terrorism, death, and elimination of other cultures, like on this picture, maybe we don't really need it. I mean, maybe we should protect ourselves from it. And maybe we should make sure it won't make its way to our homes. Think about it. The reason why I started this stream is because, again, as I already mentioned, here in Ukraine, we realize that we are protecting not only our country. We're not only fighting for our families, because as part of Europe, we realize our responsibility in terms of collective security. We are not only protecting Ukraine. We realize that because of the hybrid warfare already burning in Europe, we should also protect countries like France, Italy, Czech Republic, Slovakia. We realize that we should protect the UK. We realize that we should protect Lithuania, Estonia, Finland, Denmark. We realize that those countries are in big danger currently because of this Russian warfare, hybrid warfare burning in Europe and in the US as well, big time. So this is the thing, this is the reason. And there are a lot of talks about we should do something, we should react, we should develop some strategy, we should come up with some solution and things like that. But I don't think that somebody proposes action, like direct plan. Okay. Um, and again, to all those who think like, we're a NATO country, I will just relax, nothing bad happens to you. Can become a non-NATO country as easy as you became a NATO country. Trust me, because Russia is exploiting democracy and democratic values, democratic principles, to remove democracy from your country. This is also something that we should consider. So, as I said, there's a lot of talks, okay, about how we should solve this situation, how we should find solution, but nothing like no solution so far, no proposals, no offers. Yes, we're talking about sanctions, we're talking about guys, complete isolation will work. Only complete isolation, only complete economic, social, political isolation will work. If we make sure that this country has absolutely zero influence on other countries. Unfortunately, because, for example, if we're talking about ISIS, also recognized as terrorist regime, terrorist organization, they're pretty much isolated. Like, I don't know any sane government trying to, have some partnership or whatever, trade agreement with ISIS. Russia is also a terrorist regime. And we should understand that, Simti says democracy is the only antidote to corruption. Absolutely. And we should understand that we should fight against it. And if we cannot fight, we should isolate. So that's the thing. We should, again, develop solutions and yada yada, but we should do it yesterday, not tomorrow. It's yesterday. It's that bad, guys. All right. By the way, did you see my snail? It's still here. China will still help Russia. Yes, China will help Russia because China also wants to destabilize the situation on the West. Look at Hungary right now. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, question from David. Well, that's one of the things I was talking about. Russia is promoting nationalism in the European countries and in the US as well. Why are they doing that? Because Russians were commies, right? Communists, and they were against nationalism. They are promoting nationalism because I talked about it in the previous stream. Imagine you're a politician going we should start thinking about ourselves. We have plenty of problems, okay? And this dude is trying to convince you that the problems you have in your country, they're much worse than the upcoming Russian occupation of your country. And this is what people think. They go yeah, he's right. We're spending money on other countries. At the same time, we need to solve problems in our country. We have economic problems. We have crises and stuff. We should start thinking about ourselves. And it's a very much dangerous process. When you start thinking about yourselves, forgetting that you are not the only nation on this planet, and the only way for you to become prosperous is to cooperate with others. There is no other way you will become prosperous and strong. We're living in the 21st century, guys. It doesn't work like that. Remember the lesson of Japan, for example. Japan was always pretty much conservative and isolated country, and when I don't know, when other countries were already like colonizing other territories, trying to improve their influence like on other continents and stuff. Japan lived pretty much in isolated type of life, and only after Meiji reforms implemented by Meiji, Japan became so powerful, like instantly, adapting all the Western lifestyle, or like Western approach, Western technologies. They became probably like one of the strongest, if not the strongest, countries on the East, which basically caused them to, caused the chain of the following events. But still, and Europe was always so strong only because Europeans could cooperate with each other, not because they would close the borders and go like, no, we will, dig our gold and use our oil, and we will not share with anybody, and yada yada. No, it doesn't work like that in the 21st century. You have to trade, you have to cooperate with other people, you have to learn from others, and don't be ashamed of your own. This is how it works. And those ultra-nationalist ideas that are pumped up by Russians currently in other countries, believe me, guys, they are so destructive. Level 70, don't worry, my friends. Even though you're late, but the stream will be recorded. It will not disappear anywhere. Okay, I'm gonna open this video here because I don't see much of your comments. Dirk says, I'm getting a shark tattoo on my left arm. I can ask my tattoo master to send me the drawing, if you like, and I will post it on my in my YouTube community. Because actually, I made this drawing myself. They only like improved everything, but the idea was mine. Are you in a bunker? I cannot call this place a bunker. Could you touch base on why electronics are going to be on hold due to the laws in place? I can touch, but I cannot explain. Unfortunately. Maybe I don't understand the question much. Oh, Janiciare. My friend Mirko told me to explain you this phenomenon. So, in the times of the Ottoman Empire, when the armies of the Ottoman Empire tried to capture territories in Ukraine, they used to capture Ukrainian children and bring them to the Ottoman Empire. And in the Ottoman Empire, they had Janiciari. Janiciari. Those were foreign kids that were raised and trained as as perfect soldiers. And this is exactly what Russia does today, because when they capture Ukrainian children and bring them to the territory of Russia, which is the reason why Putin is internationally recognized war criminal wanted by the International Crime Court. So when they bring them to the territory of Russia, they start brainwashing them, and they start writing letters to the Russian soldiers who basically killed their parents. Because unfortunately, young kids, they can be trained and brainwashed much more easily than grown-ups. So this is how it works. That's the answer for why does everyone want to steal your babies? Yeah. Yeah, Rock Butcher, Yanichari, Christian slaves that were trained as soldiers. They had a powerful reputation. Yeah, exactly. Sweet 7433, still wishing you a million drones. That would be about enough, I think. A million drones would be about enough. Kripke, how is Bogdan doing, and when we will see Grandpa? Still wasn't able to travel to his area, to Grandpa's area. Uh, I will keep my promise, not tomorrow, but eventually. And Bogdan is doing well. Let's say, his family is fine. He serves in the army. He continues serving in the army. Everything is great. Oh, and on Friday, again around this time. Okay, I gotta answer this. Around this time, on Friday, we will have Friday chill out as usual. I think it will be a good tradition because I remember we had a lot of them previously. And yeah, I will show you plenty of Russian cringe. I had amazing time collecting and watching all that. You will love it. So Don Patron here. Special Forces. Kisses and love from Special Forces. Keep your important work running, my bro. Will be in Kyiv tomorrow. Bro, if you will be in Kyiv, please find my email under this video in the description and let me know, because I would love to see you here. Is Bogdan fat now? Raven, Bogdan is like ripped. He's like, he looks like a freaking Jason Newsted. Are you still making submarines? We kinda do. Kripka, thank you so much for the update. Send him love and greetings from us. I will, absolutely. Because every time you visit Grandpa Sovkovich, you gotta make a video. Because it's a wise man. He's a true Ukrainian, which means that he's absolutely friendly and open and brave, and like, you love him instantly when you see this man. It's something that we all share. Does your bro have an Australian accent yet? Question from the dude. I never noticed that. Actually, I don't think he does. It wasn't me. You look tired. Do you get enough sleep? I always look tired. Oh, Chris says, my stray cat we took in September just had 2 kittens. I want to name one Starsky. Oh, nice. Nice. Congratulations on that. Then you gotta call another one fudge. Hutch. Either one, hutch or fudge. Sam Parker, YouTube keeps flooding me with Soviet cinema. Holy I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing worse than Soviet cinema, okay? There's like you cannot imagine anything worse than Soviet cinema. Considering that most of the Soviet movies were like copy pasted from Western movies. Dachan writer, at the start of the invasion, why did people only campaign to remove Russia from the SWIFT banking system and not the internet as a whole? So the answer to this is because you like international community only had this way of thinking, like a very very practical way of thinking, and they considered like isolating Russia from all sorts of economic, military, and other aid and resources that could help them continue attacking Ukraine, right? They never considered the informational warfare. Russians did. That's why Russians blocked a lot of websites like Facebook, like Instagram, because they considered them extremists. But at the same time, they still have plenty of bots on Facebook, on Instagram, and yeah, the world never considered Russians like Russian propaganda a big threat. At the same time, it is probably their biggest threat. It's more dangerous than Russian nukes, guys. Oh, the real Vladimir Putin. Hello, hello, my friend. Dr. Brown, did you shoot down a drone? Oh my god, who told you that? Surfer Death, have you considered growing Kazatsky Vusa, the Cossack mustache? I did, and I even had the mustache back in my days in like 2015. They looked badass. The only problem is that they itch like crazy, and they itch and burn. And after like 2 weeks, I completely remove them, and I feel relieved. That's why I don't grow mustache, even though I want to. Yeah. Best Soviet movie is a Swan Lake. I agree with you, my friend. Michael, a brief update on sex tunnels today. Still, we keep searching, my friend. We keep searching those tunnels. Sex tunnels. Oh my god. Trine Daly, introduce us to some new Ukrainian food on Friday. We'll just have foodie Fridays. Guys, on Friday, I will even bring some food and I will show it to you. Because I like to torture people. Amanda says, please be in the Sniffing Brigades documentary coming up next week. I totally will, because, guys, there's a lot of my friends, and I'm always happy to see my friends from other countries, so yeah, I will definitely be there. I'm going on holiday for my birthday soon. First time somewhere warm in December. I hope there's no Russia tourists with suitcase full of the cringe. In case there are Russian tourists, just either ignore them or just like make a video. If you're lucky, you will record something cool. Christopher, hi from Florida. Oh my God, we have a Florida man here. Hello, hello, Christopher. It's very nice to see you. Will you make a song about love or sex tunnels? I should consider that actually. Yeah, it sounds cool. It already sounds metal. Sex tunnels. Surstrumming, no surstrumming this Friday, I promise. Pete asks, have you finished your kit helicopter yet? Not yet, but I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but so I decided to contact some of developers for the Microsoft Flight Simulator and bring it to life. So, for example, I will have like an aircraft that will look completely ridiculous, okay, and stupid, because it's built out of Russian Ka-52, out of its remains. And for example, there will be like this, like this flying machine, okay, created and glued together from like different parts and stuff, okay, and like it would look like this, and it would have like several wheels, okay, and in order to fly it, you have to climb out of your cockpit, okay, and there's like two legs in the bottom, and you gotta like run as fast as you can, dragging it with you, and it will make like noises, like metallic noises and stuff. Yeah, and in order to start up the engine, you have to, yeah, of course there will be like a lot of duct tape, and it will have a mice. So there will be inside, there will be like Ushanka head. Ushanka head will work as anti-ice equipment, okay, and there will be like a washing machine inside. And in order to start it up, you have to open the washing machine, you have to throw the mouse inside and press the button, and the mouse starts running, and it makes this propeller like rotating. It will be amazing. So currently I'm thinking on a proper development as crazy as myself, who will help me to make this beautiful add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Squeaky mice. Yeah, and if this stuff doesn't start, okay, also in the cockpit there will be balalaika. So you take balalaika and you hit the airplane as much as you can. You just like bash it with balalaika, and then it will start. It will only fly with mice. Actually, it will only fly with like two mice. Because there's two propellers. The other hand, I'm not sure if I want a helicopter. Like probably it will be something like gyrocopter, rather gyrocopter. Yeah, sounds good. Alexander says, Starsky, where's the raccoon? Maybe I should also include a raccoon. Yeah, and Henry, it's live, I swear. And I should also include like weather radar. Okay, it will be like a rope with a stone. Okay, and there will be a specifically created manual for this. Don Patron says this game will be useful for Elon Musk. Nothing can save Elon Muscovite, my friend. So there will be like a rope, okay, with a stone hanging on it, and there will be manual included, which says if you see the stone, okay, the weather is clear. If the stone drops no shadow, there's clouds. if the stone is moving, there's wind. And if the stone is levitating or talking to you, it means that you gotta you're too drunk to fly this aircraft. Okay, you gotta sleep at least 8 hours and then try to start it up. So that's my idea. Maya будет собакою. This airplane will have dog. There's a good add-on from Got Friends. I believe they have the add-on for like you can have like a dog or a cat as a second pilot. Yeah. Dawn Patron. I cannot stop. Every time I talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah. So that's the idea. I hope you like it. Maybe maybe it will not be like pretty much like immersive, okay, immersive add-on, but it will be it won't be arcade either. It will be more or less study level. You will study different aspects of the Russian cringe. What if the stone has snow on it? What if the stone has snow on it? I don't know. Let me think about it. You've been thinking on this for a while. Mitch, I literally came up with this idea like instantly. I started like generating all this. You have to tattoo wild boar next. Yeah, also camel, the one who ate Russian. Maybe I should also include like Elon Muskowite into this add-on. He will be like pushing this airplane, like this aircraft. You gotta bash him with balalaika and he will be pushing the aircraft. Oh my god, I gotta do this. I gotta write it down. Just, Thank you so much for this idea. If stone is angry, stop kissing it. If there's snow at the stone, you should clean it off, of course. But on the other hand, this weather radar is not afraid of like icing, so Don Patron asks, what if the stone has shed on it? Well, in this case, you gotta make sure it doesn't touch Elon Musk anymore, because you gotta keep your equipment clean and in proper shape. Choice of cheeses for the mice. Cheeses for the mice. I think shi. This Russian food made out of cabbage called shi. I swear. So why shi is because I'm not sure Russian pilots used had cheese in their helicopter that brought this mouse to Hostomel from Russia. Probably it was like shi. Damn it, can you imagine like a food called shi? I think it explains a lot about this food. If stone is gone, then your superior went to get some vodka. Or maybe the mouse, cut the rope. Cut the rope. Cut the rope. Vodka instead of fuel. Oh yeah, 100%. Make Elon great again. If the stone is gone, there is a tornado. Blue cheese and yellow cheese. Yeah. This is so perfect that the food is called shit. You cannot make this shit up. Absolutely, Catalan. And basically that's the reason why orcs smell so bad. Like everybody smells bad when they dead, but orcs are special. You know, they smell also when they're still alive. Damn it, they've been to this house, this multi-story building in Hostomel, in like March 2022, and then they left. It still smells like shit. When is the last time you had KFC? Raven, it was like last month, I believe, because like I love like hot chicken wings and chicken legs, the hot ones, strong ones, because they taste better than the ordinary ones. They have this specific sauce that tastes much better. But the next day you have problems, usually. The next day, usually you regret eating hot food. And of course, you can buy like a milkshake when you're in the KFC. If it's too hot for you, you can buy a milkshake and extinguish the flames. But you won't take milkshake to the bathroom, for example. So it's bad. And I don't really like to eat ordinary KFC because they don't taste as good as hot ones. So yeah, so I'm not eating at KFC for the next month probably. But again, KFC in Ukraine as well as McDonald's, because I've been to McDonald's today. Those two places are legit places to bring your family and have a dinner, for example, together, or lunch, because they are always clean. They're like proper places. Next time you're in Ukraine, you gotta check them out. Orc smells of vodka, sweat, dill, urine, and old cab. Mark, something like that. They like usually they smell like. I hope you guys are not eating. They smell like dick, shit, blood, and death, and shit, of course. If you eat too hot dishes, your a-hole will be sad about it. Absolutely, not only this. McDonald's clean? I'd like to see that. Richard, absolutely, you gotta visit Ukrainian McDonald's. It's like the McDonald's that is supposed to be. I mean, like McDonald's is supposed to look like that, like the one in Ukraine. Have Merck bring you Baja Blast. It's better than Cold Red. I'm looking forward to tasting that one because, like, the classic Mountain Dew was amazing. It took me 3 days to finish all the pack. The KFC in Jacksonville, Arkansas made a bad impression. Went to Uncle Dean's. Um, Frank, I hope the manager of KFC in Jacksonville, Arkansas, will see this video and make some decisions. I'm so bad with English today, guys. I'm losing it. Are orcs at least a safe agricultural fertilizer? So the reason Ukrainian soil is so fertile is because we pack this soil with the orcish fertilizer for many, many centuries, starting from 10th century or 11th century, I believe 10th century. And that's why our soil is so good, because there's like this big layer as thick as probably 3 meters of all kinds of Russian invaders that we collected over time. And basically, since we're eating the food growing on the soil, we consider it more or less safe. Do you have any favorite English puddings? Not really. Would go to proper family restaurant. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, oh, Puzata Hata, by the way, mentioned by Miron. Puzata Hata, considered as fast food in Ukraine, because the main audience of, like, the main target audience of Puzata Hata is mostly students, middle managers, middle level managers and things like that, and people like that. But Mercado will confirm this. When you visit Puzata Hata, you realize that it's not like a fast food. Like, you cannot call this fast food, because they offer fried eggs, omelets, borscht with pampushkas, with this garlic, with bread with garlic, like steaks, everything is properly cooked, and basically it's like a home food that is for some reason considered fast food. Maybe again, Ukrainian approach to doing business is, if it's fast food, then it's gonna be fast. So they just give you out all those things and cook the rest in the meanwhile. Do you like the band Ginger? Yeah, I do. Don Patron, yeah, see you tomorrow. Call me or contact me. Yeah, contact me. Just let me know in the email how to reach you, and yeah, we gotta meet, my friend. Ukrainian family restaurants are inexpensive and tasty. Absolutely. Which brand of sour cream is the best in Ukraine? I would say probably. Damn. Don't try the one that is called President, even though it's not bad, but like several times, I was buying the yogurts President, and they were not good, so I would not advise you those. Everything else is completely fine. What is democracy good for? What is democracy good for? It's a good question. Democracy makes you develop, makes your society become better than it is. This is what it's good for. if you don't trust me, then take a look at countries that despise democracy. North Korea, for example. Do you consider it a successful country? If you consider North Korea a successful country, you need fucking medication. Raven, do you have Burger King in Ukraine? That is the only franchise that we don't have yet, and Starbucks as well. Uh, I think I think we will have them here soon. I hope. Would love to cook Operator Starsky a proper full English breakfast. Wow. Bacon, sausages, eggs, spam fritter, black pudding, chips, beans, and a tomato dip with half a loaf of toast. Uh, so I would love to try all that. The only problem is again my sense of smell because it could smell perfectly to you, but to me there would be some, I don't know, like I love fresh cucumbers. You know, I eat them raw without like salt or anything because they smell so good, you know, and stuff. But after COVID, cucumbers mostly smell like shampoo to me for no reason. That's why I stopped eating them, and I have those, you know, weird smell hallucinations all the time. And eating turned into a freaking quest for me. It's like, it's bad. All right. Uh, did I freeze, guys? Because from what I see on my screen, it looks like I did. Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, COVID did some weird shit. Yeah, unfortunately, guys, COVID is nasty. Caitlin says, Ellie, you are kicking serious ass tonight. She can do that. If you come to the UK in the future, I will take you to my burger business in Birkenhead. I'd love to visit that. Yeah. You showed a video of Russia cringe where Russians in USA say they cannot drive drunk. That was a video of at a restaurant in New Jersey. Owner from Odessa and travels to Moscow often. Now I see. Yeah, because I read a lot of angry comments under my video, you know, calling to find those individuals and teach them good manners. Who is hotter, Max or Arthur Ray? Raven, that is a, you know, I will be like Russian this time, like Russian citizen, and I will be like, this is a provocative question. I cannot answer this because I'm afraid for my safety. Okay. Also, like it's really hard. It's really hard to tell which of the boys is hotter because like it's not something I do usually. Starsky, you need to eat a typical Portuguese breakfast. I heard Portuguese breakfasts are nice. Actually, returning to the question about Max or Arthur Ray, I think you should ask our operator Conchita. I think she knows better. I think we gotta make Conchita look like Nazi gay satanist. That would be perfect. Like that would be the image that literally brings this, this feeling of deep fear and terror to the Russian, Russian people. Yeah, we gotta do something like that. My wife also wants to know who's hotter, Max or Brandon. Paul, please tell your wife that Paul is hotter, okay? The name of this person is Paul, not Max or Brandon. Come visit Canada and I'll take you out for some amazing fishing and fill your belly with roasted moose. Roasted moose. Sounds so cool. Yeah, yeah. Try eating more than my teenager kids. Uh, yeah, we gotta make a competition. Oh my god, sausage gravy biscuit says, I'm all you need for breakfast, brother. This is the perfect marketing, guys. This is how it's done. William asks, is that Conchita Wurst? Yeah, that was operator Conchita Wurst, the Jewish gay Nazi satanist from Europe, the rider of apocalypse that brings Russia to its inevitable demise. Because Russians don't afraid anybody else as much as they are afraid of Conchita Wurst. The day Conchita Wurst won the Eurovision, it was the day Russians started preparing for the apocalypse. Trust me. Solyanka or borscht? Which do you prefer? I loved borscht big time, but especially borscht with like sour cream and garlic or onions, green onions, and black bread with salo, with lard, and pickles. But after COVID, COVID effed up everything. Can Russian industry reverse engineer captured scalp rockets? I think they can. Why not? The other question, if can they reproduce that? Because again, if we're talking about like those Wunderwaffe orthodox magical flying kinjals, um, then they're not able to like produce like thousands of them or like hundreds of them. They have something like 60 or 70, not more than 100. If you like fish, I will take you to eat local trout in Miskolc, Borsod Oblast, Hungary. I would love to visit Hungary, 100%. And fish is something that I can eat. What about pierogies? So, pierogies are good in both Poland and Ukraine. I'm not sure where they taste better because I tried them in Poland and I cannot say that, like that. Ukrainian vareniki are better than pierogi. Like no, no. Because again, they're just so different. Even like pierogi with meat can be different. They can have different dough. They can have different filling. They can have different like onions and lard that used to that you drop on top of it. So it's very, very different. You can consume them without anything. You can consume them with sour cream. So pierogi and vareniki could be very much different. It's hard to tell which are better. Probably it's like something common for Ukrainians and Poles. Something that we share, and it's something beautiful that we share. OCT. Oh, I saw an ad that Skovka, Dovi, and Kozak Siromacha coming to Los Angeles on 25th February 2024. This is so cool. Uh, this is so cool. I hope that you will have opportunity to visit a concert of like Hard Keys, for example, because Hard Keys are they are kick-ass. Happy Fam 44. What is pelmeni? So pelmeni is again, it's a pretty much popular food in Ukraine. It originated, I think, in Asia somewhere, like Asia, not Middle East, but like Oriental part of the world, and they look like pierogi with meat. Basically, they're dumplings with meat inside. Sometimes you can boil and then fry them. Sometimes you just boil them. They can be consumed with sour cream, vinegar, which is my favorite way to eat them. And they're so popular in Ukraine. We all love them. They're just smaller, you know. They look like ravioli, but they look bigger than ravioli, but smaller than pierogi. Surströmming, guys, I wanna try. I wanna risk my life and try surströmming sometime. I had a friend with a Polish mom who cooked all that food and had a million samovars. Whoa. Chicken Kyiv. Chicken Kyiv is nice, but not for me, guys. I don't eat much chicken. Again, even though I can eat chicken in the KFC, but I cannot eat any other chicken because it smells so bad. It smells like zombies, guys. I miss chicken so much. Any units you would suggest for international volunteers coming to Ukraine to fight, other than the International Legion, of course? It looks like this. If you have friends in any of those units and your friends go, you gotta join my unit, then just do that. It's very hard to pick one. And again, like I don't want to advertise my brigade, for example, which is one of the coolest brigades in the National Guard of Ukraine, because I don't want to, abuse other brigades, upset them. So yeah, I won't tell you which one is better. Do you have a favorite James Bond actor and or 007 movie? Yeah, Sean Connery, of course, he's like classic James Bond, but also, man, I forgot his name. Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan looks like a legit James Bond to me for some reason. Raven, what do you like to eat after a night of drinking? I don't remember what drinking is. Rob says, Starsky, trust me, save your life. Do not eat what was once a fish. Uh, so it's not considered a fish anymore? So when Starsky visits, we can just make it a potluck party. Everyone brings a different dish so he can try them all. Sounds nice. Sounds nice. Oh, yeah, and basically we can share the food with each other. That would be amazing. Okay, guys, it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. I can talk for like 3 hours, of course, but I also have to finish some business here. Guys, it was a pleasure. I hope that you found my stream at least a bit interesting and useful. And of course, don't forget that we're meeting on Friday, 10 p.m. Kyiv time. We'll have a Friday night chill out, and that's where we will talk a lot about food and Russian cringe and everything else. So, guys, thank you so much. Be safe as always. And yeah, thank you for being decent and supportive. And trust me, Ukrainians will never forget your help. It's impossible to forget your help because we are alive. Thank you so much, and see you next time.